Hello and welcome back to Crafted by Corie. If you're new, I'm Corie. Welcome to my channel. If you're returning, thank you as always for being here. You mean the world to me. I am super excited because we're part of a wonderful collaboration with some fantastic crafters, and more about that in a little bit. For now, let's go ahead and get right on into the crafting.
DIY number one. All right, for this project, I have these three, I don't know if they're vases or candle holders. I think they might be considered vases from the Dollar Tree. And I am just cleaning them up. They've been in my stash for a while, so they needed a good wipe down inside and out. And once I got them all cleaned up, I'm just using a baby wipe to get that adhesive off, but I'll be ready to go. Now, this is a super simple project, really easy, but I think it has such an impact. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and you'll have to let me know what you think at the end. But this is my Adirondack white chalk paint that I'm using. I did decide to paint the insides because I wanted the look of the nice, shiny, pretty glass on the outside. If you prefer the matte look, you can absolutely do it the other way and paint the outside of it. But this is the look I was going for because I wanted that contrast with this burlap type ribbon that I'm going to be using here in a second. And you don't have to use this type of vase. You could also do something like mason jars or whatever works for you. You could use glass jars out of your recycle bin. You know, trash to treasure. I actually was looking for those before I settled on these because that was the look I was going for, but I didn't have enough of them. So I opted for these, which I absolutely love the end result. But as you saw, I cut the wire off of these because I really wanted these to look like burlap ribbon. This is my Kirkland ribbon from Costco. It's not technically a burlap, but it has a burlap look to it. It's a tighter weave, I think, and a little bit softer, not as heavy as a burlap, but I think it does the job. And look how cute that is. I love this. So here I'm going to show you how I tied it. Really just a regular tie your shoelace bow, but you can see why I was cutting some of the little strands away because it was fraying a little bit, because again, this is a weave similar to a burlap. And so some of it was starting to fray just a little bit, which does not bother me in the least because I liked having it look a little bit more rustic like that. So I just continue to clean that up a little bit and trim those strands away. But look at how sweet these are once I get that trimmed up. I'm going to show them to you here. How cute are these? I think that they are absolutely adorable. So once, oh yes, so this is you're supposed to like paint on it or do a design or something. It's from the wood pile at Hobby Lobby. It was originally $5.99. I think I definitely got it on sale. It might have, I don't know if it was 40% off or 50% off, but how cute is it as a little tray? So that is what I'm going to use once it's all dry. I'll use these flowers. Magic of editing. The next day it was all dry, and I am going to go ahead and get my flowers ready. I do not know what kind of flowers these are. I want to say that they're mums, chrysanthemums. I don't know if that is correct, but I am trimming down those stems so that they do not stick up. You're going to see in a second how they just rest like little pom-poms on the tops of my vases, and I think that they are absolutely beautiful. I had seen something online. I honestly don't remember if it was Kirkland's or I don't know where I saw it, but it was what inspired me to do this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, it is not difficult at all. Anybody can do this, but let me know what you think. And As I mentioned, today's video is part of a collaboration with all of these amazing crafters. I am so thrilled to be part of this collaboration. There is a link in my description box for the playlist. I hope you'll go check it all out and give them some love. DIY number 2. All right, I have pumpkins, pumpkins, and more pumpkins. I was pulling off the stems for the ones that have removable stems. The white one has the stem built in, so that is going to be at the top of my topiary whenever I'm done. I was just trying to figure out what order I wanted my colors to go in. And then I've got a terracotta pot there that I'm going to be using as well. I am going to paint these, even though they're already different colors. I did want to paint them because I like that finish better than just the styrofoam. I think it gives it a little bit, it elevates it a little bit. I also am painting my terracotta pot in the black chalk paint. And the neat thing about terracotta, it dries super fast because the terracotta soaks up all of the moisture right out of the paint. It always amazes me. I love it. But this is pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly, and I am painting the white one that same color as well. You certainly could leave your white pumpkin white if you choose. This is all for inspiration. So hopefully it gives you some ideas, and then you can evolve it to whatever you envision in your own mind's eye. I can't even tell if I'm talking straight anymore, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. This is all just for inspiration, ideas. I hope that you take these and run with them and make them your own, or feel free to copy it outright. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I am using my little dauber with the pumpkin chalk paint. I somehow managed to get it completely evenly spaced. Don't know how I did that. Completely by accident and dumb luck. So could not have done that better if I had tried. All right, once everything was dry, I was ready to piece it together. And so again, just trying to see how I want to have it stacked, using some hot glue on the, I want to call it a vase. That is not a vase. That is a terracotta pot. So all along the rim, and then just making sure that the pumpkin is set and even and not tilted to a side. Now I am trying to figure out how I want to start in with my leaves. These are from the Dollar Tree. And I was thinking I could just kind of wedge them in between the pumpkins with them already stacked. But then I ultimately decided that I wanted to get them set up first and then put the pumpkin down on top of them. So I'm basically creating little L shapes in the bottoms of the picks and then sticking the end. I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm tucking it down into the pumpkin. I'm bending it at a right angle and then pushing it down into the pumpkin to secure it. Once I had it the way I wanted it, lots of hot glue right there, and I'll set my pumpkin down on top to kind of sandwich those picks in between the two pumpkins. And look how cute these leaves are with that little white pumpkin there and the little berries. Those are some of my favorite picks from the Dollar Tree. I just think that they're really super sweet. So now I'm going to start on my next layer. I'm going to do the exact same thing, get that all filled in. And again, if you don't like the white leaves, grab the orange leaves, or I think they've got cranberry colored leaves. I think they've got like mossy green colored leaves too. So, or you don't have to use leaves. You can use flowers. I've done topiaries with flowers as well. But I'm just dropping a few other leaves right at the top of the stem of my pumpkin right now. Just 3 little leaves. And then I'm going to grab out this wire. It's like paper covered wire, paper wrapped wire. I don't know how to describe it other than to say that, but it's from Amazon. I am going to use it again in another project, and you're going to get to see it a little bit better. I didn't do a good job of showing you what I was using here, but I just twisted it up to make the little tendrils, and that's going to do it for this. Let me know what you think. And now it's time for a shout out timeout. Wonderful Noreen. She has created some things that were inspired by some of mine and then some of her own. Absolutely beautiful and nice, Tammy. These are so super sweet and cute, Kathy, as always. Thank you so much for sharing. I would love to give you a shout out as well. If you have interest, just send me an email at craftedbycorie@gmail.com. DIY number 3. All right, this came from a Michael's grab box, if you can believe it. And it was super cute already as it was, but you know, this is a crafting channel, so I'm going to craft with it, and we're going to just give it a little bit of a makeover. It is a natural wood that I'm painting right now, so part of me was loath to do it, and I do actually like the darker green that you see around the edges, but they were having a little bit of an issue with some bleed through. I don't know if you can see that right there at the top that I'm painting over now, but I don't know if it was pine, I don't know, glue, something was going on with it. It definitely had an imperfection. So I opted to paint that, but then my sign kind of got really dull looking. So I decided to give that a coat of the white chalk paint. And I was excited to do this because I do like to give thanks, and I didn't want to lose that. And it occurred to me that if I painted just a single coat of the Adirondack white chalk paint, I might still be able to see that wording, which I can. I don't know how well you can tell here on screen, but in person I was able to see it sufficiently well to use it for tracing. So I'm going to be able to hand letter it and have it look exactly like it did before, because I'm going to be able to trace right over those letters. So it was perfect. So right now I'm just trying to figure out which of my orange chalk paint markers I want to use. The first one was actually called orange. I think that second one was called saffron, and the third one was tangerine. And I was afraid that the saffron might be too fluorescent, but it was more like a pumpkin color. And I actually started leaning towards using that, but then I decided I wanted something a little bit brighter, so I went with orange. To be honest, I didn't see a difference in color between the orange and the tangerine, but hey. So I was just showing you that was the dull point of my Arteza paint marker, and now I've got my pointy point, my fine point. The Arteza markers always come with those tweezers to help you pull out the tips, so it is a thing with them. They also actually send you a chisel tip as well, so you've got a lot of different options with these paint markers. I really love them. But I am just taking my time and tracing over this. Keep in mind this is sped up about 2.5 times, so I was going 2.5 times slower than what it actually appears I am doing, and already you can tell I was going pretty slow, right? So just take your time, be patient, and you can do this. And if you have something that even if you print it out on a computer, and I was thinking about this could be like a little hack, right? Tape it down with something and then you can trace over it, paint over it, trace over it. I don't know. But now I have this other stuff from the Dollar Tree. I call it stuff because I don't honestly know what it's called. I don't know if this is considered a ribbon. It's somewhere between a tool. It's not anything like deco mesh. It's like a sheer ribbon with this metallic print on it. I don't know. It's pretty. So I was thinking this might be 10 inches. I got out my ruler to measure. No, it was more like 12, so 10 and 2. So I had the thought of creating some sort of a messy bow to put on top of my project. So that was kind of the line of thinking I had as I was doing this. I didn't have a lot of different ribbons that I really wanted to use. I wanted it to be a little bit more rustic, but the original sheer stuff, that whatever that is, definitely isn't rustic, right? So I am taking a burlap ribbon and trimming down the wire again, and I'm going to layer that with my sheer stuff. and I'm gonna just create a quasi messy bow. It's not super messy, but it's pretty. I don't know. It was what I came up with. I'm sure that you probably have some really good ideas of what you could do with this as well. I would love for you to leave me a comment with your suggestions on what you think I might have done. Oh, and this is that paper covered wire that I was talking about, so you can see it a little bit better in this shot. This is the same stuff that I used for the tendrils on the last project. And if I didn't mention it before, I had gotten that from Amazon, and it should be in my Amazon store. It also comes in a natural tone, so I have it in natural as well. And now I'm just going to trim down all of my ribbons by dovetailing them. I just don't want them hanging way over the edges of my project. So I always tend to start with ribbon that's a little bit longer than what I need, because I figure I can always take more off. I cannot put it back on once it's cut. So that is the method to my madness. So just going to continue to get all of my edges dovetailed and ready to adhere to the top of the project. So I've got the left side done. I'll go ahead and do the same exact thing on the right. So you can see on the left how it's already starting to shape up. And here it is all done. So once I figure out how I want it positioned, I'll be able to go ahead and secure it with my hot glue. So just gonna put some generous glue down if I can get it to come out of the gun. There we go. And then I'll set the ribbon down with the knot, so to speak, right smack in the middle of the glue. And once I have that nice and set, I can start working on my little tendrils. And you can see how easy this stuff is to work with. I mean, it just twists right up and bends whatever way I need it to, without a lot of force. So if you have hands that aren't quite as strong, or you are dealing with arthritis, it's still a really easy product to work with. Now, I was looking at it, I thought originally I was going to be done, but when I kind of took a step back and looked at it, it felt like it needed something more on the top. It just wasn't quite finished. So I've got these little mini mums that I am applying. I had pulled the little buds off of their stems, and I'm just tucking them down around what would be the knot of my bow with some hot glue, and just tucking them in until it looks like I've got a sufficient number to my eye. But you do you. This is all just for inspiration, and I hope that you'll find some and run with it and create your own amazing projects, or as I've said in the past, steal the ideas completely. I'm really good with that. But tucking some in at the back so that the back looks finished and complete as well. And that's going to be about it. I hope that you enjoyed these projects. Let me know what you think. Yeah, it was $12.99 originally, but it was in the Michael's grab box, so I might have paid $1 for it. But let me know what you think.
Okay, everybody, that's it for today. If you enjoyed the projects, remember to give me a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know which one was your favorite, and be sure to check out all of the other crafters in this collaboration. There is more information in my description box. And until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care. Bye.